Hey Lee, where you at?
Well, I'm still stuck in Evanston, Wyoming. Actually, I don't feel badly about it because I'm letting Big Boy acclimate to the altitude. Um, he really needs to acclimate as much as he can because we're going to be going up to like 84, 8,500 feet when we go over I-80. So I don't want him, winded or anything like that. I just like it to be comfortable down here, and then the, the next 1,500 feet, he'll be able to adapt to. Yeehaw!
What have you been doing lately?
Just finishing the last of the stuff on the wagon. I've got it. I've got it so it's a minimum disaster. And what a minimum disaster is I can get everything in the wagon now. Um, I can't move very much when I'm in the wagon, but at least I can store all my stuff in it.
Did you get the window made yet? Or the door?
I got the door fixed, and I got the um, the window opened up and hinges on it, and that was a nuisance.
So,
And so we're ready to go
so you,
tomorrow.
you
All I
take
have to do is put my barrel on and feed and water, and away we go.
and your sign, right?
Yeah, I got to do that in the morning.
And so for those who are listening but are not finding you on the road, they can find your website at www.xamericabyhorse.com, correct?
That is it.
And so with that said, what's on your mind?
It's arrogance. I just finished driving in New Hampshire with a 30-year-old. Forgive me for you young folks, but an arrogant little son of a bitch who hasn't driven that much, and he thinks because he can ride a horse that he's God's gift to driving horses. Folks, driving horses are different, even though you may seem to think of them the same way. They are different. First of all, you walk them all the time. That's what the harness is designed for. Can you trot them? Absolutely, you can. I've trotted in an emergency situation 9 miles. I was in south of Cheyenne, Wyoming, and the trooper stopped and told me that the wind was going to go over 90-mile-an-hour gusts. I was afraid it would take the wagon over. So we trotted. Horses did fine. Um, it was no big deal. But generally, you trot them. And here's why. You're constantly teaching a horse, and if you want to actually get that horse to pull, whether a heavy wagon or a log or a piece of farm equipment in a tough situation, um, you've got to get confidence built up in the animal. He has to trust you. And if you run that horse every day and the horse goes into a run, that's a sign that that horse does not trust you. You have to bring them up to run. Matter of fact, my horses run or trot, but it takes a little bit to get them up there because they're so used to walking. But my horses will also pull heavy logs. And running a horse is the sign that if the horse instinctively goes that, it's a sign it doesn't trust you. And you can kind of tell when you see them kind of slipping and acting like they can't pull a load when you know darn well that they can. Um, I'm not explaining this very well, but it's just one of those things that's really important that you get them so that they're calm when they walk. I was driving a team in New Hampshire here a month and a half ago. When I drove them at Christmas time, the same team, they were breaking out in sweat. I mean, they were soaked because they were nervous. And I just slowed them up and slowed them up and kept working with them. And then I took a little bit more in New Hampshire, and no sweating now. It could be warm and they wouldn't sweat, relatively speaking. So that's what you're trying. You're trying to build a relationship with a team, not drive them. And that's something that just really irks me. So, yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Is there anything else you'd like to leave the listeners with?
Mm. Stop by, because I know when I'm on the road, I'm going to be wanting to see people. Maybe not stop by when I'm on the road trying to get somewhere, but at the end of the day, or ask where I'm going to be at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Until next time.
We'll catch you later, sir.
Thanks.
Yeehaw.
Thanks, everybody. Yeehaw.